UFC fan favorite Robert Whittaker drops a greasy split decision to Reiner De Ridder. We had Reiner De Ridder picked, but am I impressed by the performance? No, I'm not. Let's just dig into his style a little bit before we get into this. Gigantic 185er, greasy wood chipper, attrition based fight style, blobfest. We had Reiner De Ridder picked. I don't really feel good about it. Tough loss for Whittaker to take. They just were both exhausted by round 3? Whittaker had moments, but that's really it. Like, some of these numbers are so low, he just couldn't land on Reiner De Ridder. Whittaker's always been a bit of a headhunter, and good luck on a taller opponent. Like, for a 25-minute affair, 0 leg kicks from Robert Whittaker, 4 strikes to the body, only headhunting. Only headhunting. Found no success with it. Yeah, we had RDR picked, and it was close. I don't feel good about it. Whittaker just performed worse. He just simply performed worse. Reiner De Ridder only had a couple takedowns, but his top pressure was good. Robert Whittaker has gone his entire career fighting very, very few ground threats. Like, Yoel Romero doesn't wrestle. We're not counting that. Maybe Jacare and Derek Brunson, but, like, how far back are we going to go? There are new threats that are coming up. Like, Khamzat Chimaev, like, even without the jaw injury, we probably still would have seen a very similar result there. And so RDR calls for the title fight. Goofy ass shit. Like, RDR, crazy ability to just crush the midsection with these out of range knees, these Looney Tunes knees. I'm super impressed. And then dominates the clinch against everybody. Just pitter patters away in the clinch, size mogs people. 21-2 record, only losing to Anatoly Malikin, a gigantic fucking heavyweight. So, yeah, interesting performance. Crazy fight style. He could honestly realize a belt. Whittaker is done. I'm so sad to see it, but I had it predicted. Just terrible gas out performance. He was so close to winning the fight with that knockdown. Gigantic overhand right almost secures him a comeback victory. And how can I say comeback victory when it's like a greasy split decision? It's just the way I feel. I'm so upset by Whittaker's performance. RDR didn't look good. He ran his game, but disgusting gas out. He even said, I was looking for an early finish and I couldn't find it. And then, yeah. But who fights better tired? Absolutely RDR. Big lumbering oaf who has an incredible fight style. Elite trained. Whittaker's best days are over. His best days are over. Middleweight has ground threats now. In their prime, fresh ground threats. And Whittaker's gone his whole career mostly fighting just stand-up fighters. Yeah, it's interesting. And it sucks to say, but look, it is what it is. RDR, we'll see where he goes from here. I don't think he's got the chops to beat Dricus, but like, some of the moves that Reiner goes for just make me sick. Like, I do kind of fuck with the tall man knees, the Looney Tunes knees out from range. They do cause crazy damage, break the body of his opponent. Yeah, interesting. Got knocked down, battled back, can't cry about it. Just didn't look too elite to me. I thought he would have steamrolled Whittaker, but really goofy, greasy wood chipper performance by RDR. Split decisions, Robert Whittaker. Whittaker, we'll see where he goes. Give him some fun fights. Please don't feed him to prospects and get him knocked out on the way out. I don't want to see that. RDR, best of luck with your title fight, but you look goofy as shit. We'll see what happens. Nothing but great things to say about Marcus McGhee in this performance. Yes, Petr Yan got the victory, winning a 2-1 decision, but we're talking competitive strike numbers. And yes, I know Petr Yan is just a master at tucking into that shell and just firing on the brake, but this was a great litmus test for Marcus McGhee, and I want to focus more so on that. We've talked about Petr Yan plenty. We know the ins and outs of his game. Marcus McGhee had a great first round, as most people do against Petr Yan. But let's look at this second round, because Marcus McGhee, he got hurt and stung in this round on occasion, but he kept up with volume. I mean, this was a very, very close fight. This was not domination from Petr Yan. Do not let people have you believe that. Competitive fight between these two. Marcus McGhee is absolutely top 10 potential and will probably still be maybe sticking around by the time Petr Yan's gone. Who knows? But yeah, Petr Yan with the victory. Great clinch control in the third round, really morphed into Merab Dvalishvili in that third round, and yeah, just banked it. It was 1-1 going into the third and just decided to bank it with clinch control. Kind of dull and awful, but it's Petr Yan, we forgive him. If you want to have a round of clinching and just banking it, why not? Knees to the thigh, all that sort of stuff. Marcus McGhee, love the combinations, love his combos, not fearing Yan. Yes, he did get walked down a bit too much in this fight, but just a pure physical freak. I mean, what a great first loss to take in the UFC. I mean, he hasn't fought any high level until now, mostly low level, and an impressive Jonathan Martinez win. But in a 3-round fight, to keep it competitive like this shows his level. It's good stuff. Hopefully McGhee takes it in stride and levels up from this. Yeah, real physical freak. Love his punch combinations. He's just a little on the older side, but yeah, great gym, the MMA lab. They should be able to really level up Marcus McGhee from this performance. And as for Yan, straight into a title matchup, whether that's Corey Sandhagen if he takes out Merab, or a Merab rematch. We'll see how they go. The thing with Petr Yan is not a lot of evolution. He doesn't really show up looking different fight to fight. The book's kind of written on what a Petr performance is going to look like. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Corey can kind of evolve to maybe take that decision from Petr Yan instead of lose it 3-2. And maybe he can hurt Merab. Maybe he can line up a knee on Merab Dvalishvili and just take the fight in a different direction, inflict heavy damage on Merab. You never know. But one thing's for sure, Petr Yan does not mark up often. Very responsible defensive fighter. And output where it counts. Absolutely output where it counts. You know, takes that first round off religiously every fight. But, you know, it pays off. It really does pay off. Rounds 2 and 3, he's got full gas. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Incredible performance from both. 135 is a lot of fun. I was kind of knocking Petr Yan for accepting a fight this low down in the rankings. Doesn't seem like it does much for your career, but a good primer to get in there for your title fight, honestly. Marcus showed up. Didn't show out and get the win, but he did show up. And yeah, congrats, Marcus McGhee. You had an awesome performance. Got rocked on a few occasions, but you hung in there and, you know, had a good gunslinging performance with Petr Yan. So hold your head high. Good shit. Petr Yan, one of the best in the game. We'll see how his career takes off from here. Yeah, interesting stuff. Marcus just kind of got bullied in that clinch. I wish he had a little bit more urgency there. And yeah, Yan snuck in a lot of damage off the break of the clinch as well. But honestly, kind of a mirror matchup. Really unique styles here, and they have a lot of similarities in their game. Awesome fight. I will be rewatching it tonight. Really, really good stuff. Congrats to Petr Yan on the victory. SHARA Bullet and Marc-Andre Barriault. They go to war. I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting SHARA Bullet to just outclass Marc-Andre, but it got bloody and ugly and turned into a bit of a war. I mean, Marc-Andre Barriault broke the nose of SHARA Bullet, making him even more of a monstrosity. I didn't know it was possible, but hey, it's a good performance from Canada. You know, Canada, the MMA game, not the greatest. That's another loss on the heavily checkered career of Marc-Andre, but hey, it wasn't a complete wash. Yes, he did lose 30-27, but inflicted heavy damage on SHARA. But yeah, the volume was a problem. Nurmagomedov lighter, taller, lighter, more fleet of foot, more creative, better understanding of striking. Marc-Andre is a tank, but yeah, just not the greatest output. Got his lead leg chewed apart by leg kicks. 24 out of 27 for Nurmagomedov. Some good body work with the kicks and knees as well. I love SHARA's clinch work. Marc-Andre bullied him to the cage a lot. That's kind of a weakness of SHARA's game. You can get him to the cage and initiate clinch ups, but he has nasty clinch knees to the head, to the body. Put some good damage back on Marc-Andre with knees. And yeah, good jab. Kicks to the face, crescent kicks. Yeah, like I said, creative striker. Completely shut out Marc-Andre in this first round. Second round turned into a war. Got his nose broken with a flush overhand right. Got super, super interesting. 30-27, it's interesting because competitive stuff, who you give SHARA next, I honestly think you can give him a step up now. He's bounced back from the Michael Page loss that I'll speak on in the Any Good video coming up. And it's a good-looking career. Bruno Silva, Oleksiejczuk, Petrosian. we have bypassed the mid-level of middleweight. Chuck him into the top. Give him Marvin Vettori. Give him these kinds of names. Marc-Andre back to the prelims, unfortunately, but I don't think his career's over. It's always high action, so yeah, it's either him starching somebody or getting starched. High volume, high power. Yeah, it's interesting. Just kind of a power bar is very fitting for Barriault. He is just kind of a bully in there, but not a lot of technical ability. Lots of losses. Don't rate him. 17-10 record is hideous. Yeah, SHARA Magomedov. What can we say? What can we say? The speed with the kicks is that of a featherweight or a lightweight. Super problematic. Gets him ahead on the scorecards early and often. Hard to beat him in a leg kick battle. He only really struggled against Michael Page, where that's the only success he had, really, was low kicks. And that kept it competitive, but he did lose that fight. But KO finish, Tricoli bum, KO finish, Armin Petrosian. Yeah, I think SHARA will take some losses, but he is going to blossom into a top contender, I think. Do I see him with a belt? It's hard to say. Maybe if middleweight, really starts to regress and a lot of people kind of pop out of the division, move up, move down, retire, he could maybe sneak in there and challenge for a title, but we'll see. Fun guy, though. I like the style, and in all honesty, crazy grit, because he did eat a full power overhand, get his nose shattered, and kept his composure. Still won that round by the books. Still performed greatly after sustaining heavy damage, so I rate it. Good stuff, SHARA Magomedov. Like I said, this Michael Venom Page loss probably made him much, much better. Yes, it's a tough loss because he did get outclassed. Didn't touch Michael Page to the head once. I don't even buy these 8 strikes. He was kind of completely outclassed in the boxing. Couldn't get any momentum. But he's going to grow from that because it was striker v striker. They both have a similar game, and he was shut out, but he doesn't have to face Page anymore. He gets to take those lessons he learned, and as long as he learns from it, that will pay dividends. Floating around, stinging Marc-Andre Barriault, hamburgering the lead leg, stinging him with shots. I loved the clinch work. Did grab the fence. Disgusting. They need to be penalizing that shit. Can we just get cameras on the outside of the fence or something? Like, why do we not instant replay for suspected fence grabs? It's really interesting. Yeah, I've kind of had it. Keeps getting away with it against all kinds of wrestlers, grapplers, just blatant hooking of the fence with his hand. But they just slap it away and yell at him. Like, they don't do point deductions, really, if you're a big star or based on the venue. So it's case by case. It's awful. He gets away with some fence grabs, but it is what it is. As for the fight style, I love it. I rate it. Yeah, we'll see where his career goes, because that was a fun performance. He battled back through heavy damage. Good shit. We went with Asu ALMABAYEV to beat Jose Ochoa, as this was Ochoa's first, real grappling test. 8-2 in the pro career. Yes, he had a good scrap with Loner Kavanaugh, who's a really good striker. And the win over Cody Durden was big. One-punch knockout at the start of the second round. Cody Durden, not the level of grappler that Asu ALMABAYEV is. A highly touted Kazakh wrestler. There were still some red flags in this performance. Asu ALMABAYEV is very, very small. 5'4", 65 inches of reach. But scrappy, persistent, doesn't wilt or break. Always shooting takedowns, good clinch control, but there were some cage grabs in there, dirty shit. But he is the smaller man, so, if Herzog just, lets the fouls go, absolutely you should cheat. Yeah, gets the win there. Good control time over Ochoa. I believe it was 7 minutes. Good stuff. Multiple sub attempts. The ground and pound was pretty pathetic, though, from ALMABAYEV. He is very, very small. Lots of top pressure. Good control. Good dominant grappling here, but low power striking. Looked like he was kind of getting the worst of it from the bottom. Ochoa striking from the bottom. The hammer fists from, closed guard. They were good from Ochoa. He should have turned them into some elbows, maybe get some damage. That would maybe snuck him the fight. But ALMABAYEV, always busy, always persistent, crazy cardio. Yeah, he's of the region. High elevation training. Ochoa, short notice throw together. He's going nowhere. He's a fun guy. Very scrappy, good chin. Yeah, interesting stuff. Just needs these types of losses to grow from where he's at right now. Really good stiff grappling test here against Asu. And yeah, kind of dull-ass fight if you're looking for action and striking, but Asu needs to throw big bomb overhands to get any respect on the feet. And so he has a good overhand right into his body lock. So yeah, really good stuff. Just yeah, better grappling IQ over Ochoa. Ochoa just primarily looking to scramble, strike, pressure, but just wasn't enough. Yeah, I guess he wins 30-27. It's tough because, yeah, not a lot of damage either way, but good attempts. 5 of 11 attempts. Good stuff here. No reversals from Ochoa, being stuck on the bottom for most of it. ALMABAYEV, backpack position, the works. Yeah, good stuff. We'll see where Asu goes. He calls for Joshua Van. Probably not happening. I know your career is all right, besides the Manel cap loss, which is a little fraudulent. But yeah, he'll stick around. Hopefully he can get some more finishes. Yeah, needs more subs, needs more KOs for me to really pay any mind to his career. Jose Ochoa, good shit. Knocked out Cody Durden. I love him for that. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. He should absolutely learn from this. So yeah, good fight. The lethality of Bogdan Guskov needs to be studied further. This guy's putting together some real momentum here at 205. That should be a top 10 ranking spot for him. KOing Nikita Krylov, who is a fun veteran, but his days are over. We spoke on, in the build-up, we spoke on kind of a wasted prime. Not sure why he took such a hiatus from the sport. Is what it is. You can't really get away with that at the highest level. The game rewards activity, and Bogdan Guskov is putting the KOs together. That's 4 finishes. 3 knockouts, 1 submission in 2 years. It's pretty impressive. Pretty shitty debut to Volkan Oezdemir, so I get it if you don't rate him off of that performance. But as for the game as a whole, 18-3, hands low, just lethal boxer. The big thing I keep coming back to with Bogdan is just lethality. He's just reading the perfect moments to explode in, capitalize. Slick counters. His coaches are always screaming at him to keep his hands up, so that could be a big red flag for him moving forward, but it's part of the style, you know. Keeps grapplers away because he's got low hands. We can fish for underhooks a bit easier, and it's just to bait people forward. Harder to read the hands, kind of a Bobby Green tactic. Bait people forward, they can't see the punches, can't see your hands, but he's getting away with it at 205, where every punch is concussive, could be the ending of a fight, so yeah, figures out a more composed Krylov and still forces out the mistake and still capitalizes on the shot. Bogdan Guskov, Anthony Smith with high test. The real on paper Anthony Smith. Yeah, not a big grappler, not a big submission threat. Guskov is. Good stuff. The career's coming together. Love to see it. Sad to see Krylov go, but it is what it is. The sport and the divisions kind of rose up without him. Yeah, 2 KO losses, not good stuff. He wasn't able to recover here. Not an out-cold KO, but a messy TKO that he just couldn't bounce back from. Bogdan Guskov, big headhunter. That's the theme with him, but it's effective. His whole style revolves around that. Who you give Guskov next? He's now top 10. We can start talking about like the Rakiches, the Johnny Walkers, these sorts of names. He was booked against Johnny Walker, but it fell through. Maybe rebook it, but yeah. 205 is lethal, man. 205 is looking incredible moving forward. There's no more Cormiers, Joneses, Baders, no more wrestlers. It is all striking threats at 205. I can't praise and simp for the division enough. One of my favorite divisions in the UFC, Bogdan Guskov is a member leading the charge of violence. Bogdan Guskov looks like a just complete serial killer. Gotta love it. And yeah, was winning the round as well. That has to be mentioned. Composed, calculated, picking good spots, little short blitzes of aggression. Yeah, good stuff from Guskov. Ryan Spann, Nikita Krylov, passing the mid-level. It's time for some high level for Guskov. Who do you guys want to see him against next? As for Krylov, he's probably out. But yeah, Guskov for the win. Nasty, violent TKO finish. Sucks to see Krylov go. Bryce Mitchell over Said Nurmagomedov. Super impressive after bouncing back after an early flash knockdown in round 1. What can we say? Bryce Mitchell. I'm very low on him just for the lack of striking potential, but I have to wipe away that perception I have of him. He is purely a cardio-based fighter. I can't dive into strike data and statistics on him because it's the unseen. It is the drive, the grit, the heart and perseverance with Bryce Mitchell all the way. He may be one of the only fighters in UFC history to win unanimous decisions with about 10 strikes. It's actually quite interesting. Most of his wins, you can make the argument. The Dan Ige win as well. where he is quite clearly losing on damage but still gets the unanimous decision victory. It's really interesting stuff. He bends the rules of modern-day MMA, being a pure wrestling beast, cardio-based fighter, hunting for submissions and how that is scored more effectively than visible damage. It's really interesting. Pillow-fisted Bryce Mitchell doesn't need power, doesn't even need the ability to strike. He is purely a ground grapple threat. And Said Nurmagomedov, I thought he had just a couple more minutes of sustainable cardio, but no, broke to the pressure. It seemed like the squeeze of Bryce Mitchell just sapped away that cardio way faster than I was anticipating it would. Seeing as he went 3 competitive rounds with Vinicius Oliveira, who, yes, isn't a big grappler, but was still shooting takedowns. They both got the same amount of takedowns, but what they do with those takedowns is the difference maker. And Bryce Mitchell constricts you like a snake, honestly. Completely drains your cardio. Yeah, I can't hate it. He did break Said Nurmagomedov, and that is the method of beating him. You can't outstyle Said. You need to break him, and Bryce did that. He had the style for it. I just didn't think he would face as little resistance as he did. Some excellent reversals in there from Said. Some great little sweeps. Yeah, 2 reversals by him, but Bryce just battles back in the wrestling. Just battles back harder. Yeah. Unbreakable, I think, is the thing we need to start talking about with Bryce Mitchell. He's been finished by, Josh Emmett, Topuria, Gene Silva, but they are strong, physical 145 finishers. So we need to see if anyone in 135 really has the power to kind of negate the shot, land the power. Said Nurmagomedov, a bit too long and slender. I guess it's going to take someone bulky to beat Bryce Mitchell. Like Gene Silva's bulky, physical freak, cuts a lot of weight. Josh Emmett, much the same. Physical freak, big physicality diff here, and Ilia Topuria's Ilia Topuria. So, yeah, good win from Bryce Mitchell. Wasn't expecting it. I thought it would be a 2-1 sort of robbery situation for Said or a front choke finish. And he was on the front choke a few times. They did not give him a sub attempt. I don't know why these don't get counted. He was on, I believe, 2 or 3 separate guillotines, but they were incomplete, so maybe they don't get counted. Yeah, Bryce Mitchell, crazy scrappy ground threat, constricts the cardio out of Said Nurmagomedov. Good win, close win. Down on strikes, but still gets it done. Nurmagomedov had a moment of brilliance in the first round, landing a knee on the tip of Bryce's chin, but couldn't replicate that. Eventually broke to the pressure. Good shit, Bryce Mitchell. Attaboy, Salikov. Super underrated UFC unk. So underrated. We're making a video. Any good? Just how good is Salikov? Counter right hand off the back foot up against the cage. Lets Leal come into range with the pressure. Just detonates him with an overhand right. Insane. Insane KO. Unk strength is real. We got to start rating age as it goes higher in MMA. Less injuries, more power, unks all the way. 2025, 2026, year of the unk. Michael Johnson's going to beat Topuria. Muslim Salikov. The win streak begins now. 41 fucking years of age. Wheel kick KO over Son Kanan. Now just a complete bomb, sleeping Carlos Leal out cold in Abu Dhabi. My God. Damn. Already one of my favorite striking names in the UFC, but man, these last 2 years, he's given us a wheel kick KO and now just slumping newcomer Carlos Leal, who popped for steroids in other fights. I forgot to go over that. I thought that was fake news. He has had fights overturned for roids. Muslim Salikov, give him the Wonderboy fight, please. That is the King of Kung Fu versus Wonderboy. Are you kidding me? Oh, we need that fight, man. Before it's all said and done, they're in their 40s, but they are still athletic. Wonderboy Thompson is still athletic, man. This fight would be crazy fun. Both welterweight, both incredibly unique, dangerous karate fighting styles. It's crazy how Wonderboy is on. I know it's different competition. He's fighting elite names. Salikov isn't. But still, 0-3 for Wonderboy, 3-0 for Muslim Salikov. Man, you got to book this fight. Amazing KO. Go check it out. I'm screaming. I may have slept on Davey Grant here in this spot. I was big on BLACKSHEAR's evolution moving forward. Oh, I guess not. 3-fight win streak and loses momentum to 40-year-old Davey Grant. It's tough to see because Grant is pretty readable, all things considered. High power striker, good, well-rounded all-rounder, but come on, BLACKSHEAR. You phoned in those last 2 rounds. We won the first round with good back control, little bit of sub attempts in the first round, and then just completely phoned in the last 2 rounds. It's interesting. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I don't rate BLACKSHEAR's striking moving forward. This volume win over Alatang is kind of fraudulent. I put too much stock into it for sure. And these beautiful round 1 submissions, I guess I just overvalued those too much. Davy Grant remains a high power, okay volume type of guy, high volume, I should say, but yeah, consistently fighting low level, mid level, and hangs on to his job. He probably won't ask for a step up. He's not really in the title contender business. He kind of this is his second job, main job. I know he's a businessman, but you got to love Davy Grant, got to love the urgency, the scrap in him. But yeah, he's up there in age, and BLACKSHEAR, come on, man. This is your career we're talking about. A little bit more urgency at the end of some of these rounds. Just phoned in those last 2. Loses the fight, deservedly so. Super low on BLACKSHEAR moving forward. As far as the striking goes, still rate him as a sub-threat, but we need more urgency in that grappling. I think he kind of just was a bit gun-shy due to his last KO. It's interesting because he fights Cody Stamann and rebounds off Cody Gibson, Alatang Lee. Not big power punchers, but comes up against a power puncher in Davy Grant, just shitting bricks in there. After a good first round, you thought he would get some momentum for himself, but no. It's tough to see. Back to rebuilding Damone BLACKSHEAR. Thought the career could have been something. Had a competitive fight with Mario Bautista, who's now fighting Umar Nurmagomedov. You want to talk about evolution? Mario Bautista is making waves. And Bautista had a good competitive fight with him. I guess styles just match up well. And yeah, I bought into the evolution of BLACKSHEAR a bit too much. Davy Grant, we know his style. There's tons and tons of tape on it. Heavy power, good striking variety, head, body, legs, good sub-threat. I just didn't rate the competition. You go back through Davy Grant's most recent comp, his entire career actually, nothing but the bottom level of 135, maybe a bit of the mid-level. Sneaky win over Marlon Vera, but other than that, there's just nothing really to, be that impressed about. Davy Grant arguably beat Daniel Marcos. I mean, look at these significant strikes. Probably did deserve that win there, but yeah, arguably 5-0, 5-fight win streak, arguably for Davy Grant. So yeah, I should have trusted momentum over perceived evolution. Damone BLACKSHEAR, super low on him moving forward. Davy Grant, I still don't really care. He's not really a title contender by any means. He's too old to get there. But as for fun fights, scrappy fights, blood and guts, Davy Grant is good. Damone BLACKSHEAR stock drops massively there in that spot. So yeah, is what it is. Another underdog on this card. Wow. Got to give credit where it's due here. Tabitha Ricci with a KO finish, which was probably insane odds because she is a woman with very little power, primarily a grappler, but just beautiful tomahawk elbow right into the eye of RIBAS in this fight. Nasty stuff. I can't complain about it. Yes, it was about 12 minutes of just horrible clinch holding. Yeah, nasty, ugly, awful disgrace of MMA, but yeah, a fight that took place on the cage primarily. But to be fair, she lands heavy damage. Beautiful elbow straight into the eye of RIBAS. You hate to see it for RIBAS, but yeah, just completely out-physicaled here by the smaller Ricci. She's forced to grapple. Horrible height and reach, 5'1". Yeah, she won't be doing any effective striking moving forward. That's kind of her weakness. I thought RIBAS could sneak ahead in that regard, but nope. Bullies RIBAS in the clinch. Nasty up elbow. Instantly leads to a finish. Good stuff. I can't complain. All for women getting more finishes. Awesome stuff, Tabitha Ricci. Stephen Wen fights are hard as fuck. They're hard as fuck. Record-setting performance for my guy, Stephen Wen. Now, we knew the volume and the punch power was just going to rip apart Muhammad Yahya, who is just a regional fighter. That's 0-3 for him. He's done. He's completely done now. Horrific injury sustained in the fight. Looked like a broken orbital, most likely. Yeah, Stephen Wen, excellent boxer, breaks a record, landing 6 knockdowns on Muhammad Yahya. 3-2 in the UFC if you're counting the Contender Series. Good stuff. Fight of the night loss to Jarno Aarons, forgivable. He was always going to come in here and just completely sun Muhammad Yahya, who is a regional level fighter. The UAE Warrior, they don't have a regional scene. He looks like a regional bum out there. Yeah, it just shows. It's what an amateur looks like going up against a pro. Muhammad YAHYA, no feints, no footwork, like getting every attack just read and countered. Keep an eye on Stephen Wen. He's very fun. He is Fortis trained, heavy boxing style. Was cracked himself in this fight. There was a bit of a holy shit moment in there where he almost let this one slip away. But yeah, heavy hands, featherweight striker, great volume, good pressure. I mean, to be fair, both of them really laid it on the line here. Many strikes back and forth, about 320 attempted significant strikes. Good stuff. Stephen Wen, you know, completely neglecting the body here, just trying to chin YAHYA, and he did. He completely rearranged his face. A couple leg kicks in there, loved it. Probably should have rushed the finish. That could be a red flag with Stephen Wen moving forward. There were a few times where I just thought he was going to jump on top of YAHYA and just get a proper finish, but he kind of fluffed it on a few occasions. Slow build Stephen Wen. He's going to make exciting fights every time out. Excellent strike rate. Maybe give him a low-level grappler next time out. See how he deals with that. Yeah, and you can sort of build him into this pocket brawler. Yeah, I like what I see. Go watch the Jarno Aarons fight. It's very good stuff. Crazy war back and forth. Just kind of got out kickboxed. He was just boxing a bit too much. Look at Jarno Aarons' output here. It's nice and balanced all across the board. Good Muay Thai kickboxing performance. Stephen Wen, you know, he's got that Fortis curse, that Fortis problem, that Jeff Neal problem. They kind of just headhunt a bit too much. So hopefully he gets a slow build and he really turns into a bit of a prospect, because every fight's fun as fuck. Every fight's kind of a war back and forth. He's a fun dude. Excellent performance. Muhammad YAHYA, you cut him. Stephen Wen, slowly build him up through featherweight. And I told you guys, stay away from Marcus Buchecha, the Olympian gold medalist for BJJ. Unproven in MMA, fat blob performance. Martin Buday getting it done. Looks worse physically, but honestly, that doesn't mean much. Dude's got the experience at heavyweight. Yes, against bottom feeders, but hey, Marcus Buchecha looked like a bottom feeder out there. Horrible disgrace of BJJ takedowns at heavyweight. Complete gas out after about 3 minutes, I want to say. And then, yeah, Martin Buday, well-rounded, bit more active, pulls ahead on the strike numbers. Yeah, we can't just buy into these like propaganda, like industry plant pages on social media that just push these debutantes. Like, it's awful. Like, all of these betting accounts that are just industry plants, like, you guys can't buy into this. Go to MMA YouTube, go straight to the source, people that know their stuff. Marcus Buchecha, yes, he's highly touted in BJJ with the gold medals. He has 30 medals, whatever. Doesn't mean anything when he steps into a cage fight. As you can see here, 1 out of 11 takedowns. Yeah, anyone singing this guy's praises. Fraudulent, disgrace of a performance. Looked overweight, slow. Atrocious cardio. His only chance of winning was, I guess, a sub in the first 2 minutes, and Martin Buday takes over. You know. Got the rub off of Gaziev, that slippery, slimy rub off of Shamil Gaziev. The sky's the limit now. The sky's absolutely the limit now. You start giving Martin Buday higher names. 16, he does not look like a 16-2 fighter, but looks can be deceiving. I mean, he's a great jack of all trades, good, well-rounded, volume heavyweight, good durability, good sprawl game, takedown defense. Still at 100%. Good stuff. This is where I was looking for this fight primarily. Marcus Buchecha, fraudulent. We'll see if he even continues MMA after that sorry of a performance. I don't even know who you give him. You give him Chris Barnett, I guess, but he's not even really... Barnett's booked. Barnett's on a pay-per-view coming up, so yeah. You'll have to find somebody else for Buchecha in the meantime. You should just go back to BJJ because that was a disgrace. Martin Buday all the way. He's the guy with the experience. He's the guy with the cage time. Martin Buday all the way. Got the rub off Gaziev. Can't pick against Martin Buday until he rematches Gaziev. Then we'll pick against him. Is what it is. It was a good card. Yet another event where the top of the bill is just nothing but decisions. I'm getting kind of sick of it. And the prelims just go hard as shit because they're on low pay and they're looking for bonus money and coming to make a statement, you know? Is what it is. Next week is Albazi Tyra in the Apex, I believe. Up-and-comers. We got Kevin Vallejos on there. Esteban Ribovic. Good stuff. But yeah, decent card in Abu Dhabi. Wish the crowd actually wasn't bad. Normally they're super quiet and just low energy, but actually pretty decent this time out. Good crowd pops, showing love to everybody. Good stuff, Abu Dhabi. Performance bonuses. What are we thinking? Fight of the night. You could almost give fight of the night to Jan McGee, but it's probably going SHARA Magomedov's way and BARRIAULT. Performance bonus. How can you not give one to Stephen Wen for landing 6 knockdowns? But they might go with RICCI for whatever reason. Yeah, we'll see. SALIKOV earned it as well. Absolutely, SALIKOV earned it. We'll see what they go with. Yeah, drop your thoughts on the event down below. And any good video Michael Venom page will release in a few days. All right, thanks, guys.